What is going on, everybody? We are back. Episode number 9 of the CC Podcast.
That's wild.
I've honestly forgot the name at this point, but I am pumped to be here with my main man, my main squeeze, my cutie bumpkin, Jacob Allen Nielsen. What's going on, my friend?
Oh, I just had a burp, dude. My name is Jacob Nielsen. It's good to be with you guys. High school pastor, Bethany Church. Let's go. Episode 9. We're about it. We're about to talk about some stuff, have some fun, get a little rowdy, talk about LaCroix, talk about some of our fears, or some stuff that we've accomplished. So we're excited to be with you guys twice a week. Here we go.
Let's go, baby. So we're starting out talking about what our favorite flavor of LaCroix is. Now, we have to kind of preface. When we're talking about LaCroix, you got multiple groups of people on the issue. You got people that hate it. You got people that it's all they drink. And then
so
you got
many haters.
You got haters. You got fanboys, fangirls.
Yep.
And then you got normal people like Jacob and Mike that just enjoy it when we need a little carbonation.
Yes.
But we're not trying to drink a Coca-Cola, you know?
Yes.
It's like, I already got too many pounds around my belly. Don't need it anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm going to drink a carbonated water.
Dude, I feel that, bro. So last night we had our trivia, okay? And one of the questions, it was subjective. So it was whatever I thought was the correct answer. So my question is, what's the best flavor of LaCroix? And for me, what?
Never. Keep going.
Just say it, dude.
No, because it's about what you're about to say. Just say it.
Okay. So anyways, I won't even say what my favorite flavor is quite yet. But I need to talk about the haters of LaCroix first, because there was multiple people that reached out and said, didn't even try to answer. They just said LaCroix sucked. And I was like, it was like 3 points. It was a big swing.
Just guess an answer. Just guess one.
Yeah. They guessed after.
Mango or something. Just say something.
They had to say their opinion of like, LaCroix sucks. It's trash. It has no flavor. And then I proceeded to get into an argument with both of the Bean sisters via the Waves Instagram, because they kept talking trash and sending me memes about it and different Twitter clips that they screenshotted.
Shut up.
That's
We're
what I'm saying.
We're gonna raid their room again.
We're
about to rub their toothbrushes on the ground again. What?
Also, that was Gabby's, their youngest sister. 7.
We suck.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, number one, we got to address the haters first, because number one, if you don't like LaCroix, you're just wrong. That's the basis of what we're talking about.
Amen.
It's like it's it's carbonated. It gives you a little tingle in the throat, which I enjoy. I like
love
it.
That. Mm-hmm.
And I love the essence of fruit. I don't want jam-packed sweetness. I don't want it smacking. I want an essence. I want a whisper.
It's almost like they have like a natural essence. You know what I mean? It's almost like
literally
natural essence.
Naturally essence, bro.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. Just a little bit. So yeah, I want to talk about the haters too.
Innocent.
I love that. The thing that makes me laugh about the haters is they like say it's not sweet enough when that's not the point of the drink. You know what I mean? Like, if you want a sweet drink, go get a freaking Fanta. You know what I'm saying?
Go get a Gatorade.
Like it's not what it's there for. So first off, you're just looking for something that's not there. So that's why you're frustrated. The second thing is, I'm a huge fan of like just a little squeeze of a lemon in my water.
Yeah.
Any sort of fruit, really. I'll squeeze some fruit in my water all the time, just because I want that little bit, the glimpse. Because you know what? If I'm being honest with you, I need to drink more water. But if I drink LaCroix, I get a little bit of taste with it.
Yes.
And I'm getting my water in, and I'm also getting my carbonation, bro. I'm all about my carbonation.
Yes.
And so for the haters out there that say it's not sweet enough, it sucks, it has no flavor, shut up. Like, just shut up. Like, you're looking for a pop, and it's not pop. It's LaCroix. It's sparkling water.
Yeah. Get over yourselves, fools. This is for sophisticated people. This is for the people that have class. You know what I mean?
Elegance, bro.
Elegance, dude. I feel glamorous when I drink LaCroix.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like I should be on a beach in some white linen
Ooh,
walking with my shirt wide open. I got the
dude,
sunset beating
come
on
on.
my chest,
Come on, bro.
and I'm riding horseback.
Come on. I'm like the guy from Old Spice where I'm upper
That's
body just jacked, lower
that's
body on my horse, baby.
that's what I'm saying.
Like straight out of Narnia, bro.
I like that. Just a Narnia boy just out here drinking liquor. That makes
Oh man,
absolutely no sense.
that's so
Dude, but
good.
so yeah, just we need to address the haters first of all,
Yeah,
because the haters are our motivators. We keep pushing.
come
We
on,
like LaCroix, but you're right. We're not over the top. I'm not only drinking LaCroix.
for
You
sure.
know, it
I
just
got an ice
there's
right now.
there's
I'm actually drinking an ice because I wanted a little bit more sweet. You know what I mean?
there
But
you
I still
go.
wanted the
There you go.
carbonation.
I respect that. So
There we go.
it's not our only drink, but it's part of our part of my
Repertoire,
daily routine. Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
sure.
This is
I'll say
I
one
got
more
one
thing.
in the chamber. Go for it.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing about it. I wasn't sold when I first started the LaCroix game, though. Like, I think
No,
people
I agree.
expect that, like, it's one of those things that you just love from the get go. I
Yep.
would venture to say if you're not used to drinking carbonated water, it's like if you're not used to drinking coffee. It takes a little bit, but once you
Right.
buy in, you buy in. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
just like you can't
Yeah.
live without it at that point. And
Right.
so you wake up in the morning, have yourself a nice cup of coffee, just like in the afternoon with
Yes.
lunch, you have yourself a nice LaCroix. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, with a sandwich on the side,
Ooh,
it
Gail,
just
get me
washes it
started.
down so smooth. So
It's
that's
so
what I'm
good.
saying. And like that's yeah, dude. This is so good. This is necessary. What a necessary topic for us to
It's
discuss
honestly
on our
biblical.
podcast. Well, okay, that's you lost me, bro. How
Is
is it
this the
biblical?
is this the water that you never thirst again from?
No, you're
Stupid.
so stupid. You're so stupid.
Is this
Oh,
what was in the well Jesus was talking about? Is this what he was talking about?
this is what's in the yes. This is in the well, actually, very specifically. Oh my
Golly.
goodness, that's so good. But then, so let's talk about our favorite flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we each have our favorite flavor on deck with us currently.
Come on.
So mine, not by popular opinion, because once again I got into more arguments
I
after
strongly disagree with
trivia.
this, by the way.
See, I
I
know,
disagree with it.
and it's okay. It's okay because
Yeah.
you like LaCroix. We're all family here at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? The haters, not my family. They aren't my brothers and sisters.
No, get out of here.
The people that like LaCroix, I can disagree with their favorite flavors and be fine with it. So after trivia, this goes on. My staff has a group me. They've also, or we have a group me for my staff.
Yeah.
They've been participating in the trivia,
Okay.
and specifically, there's a staff round, so we separate it from the students. And so staff
Gotcha.
has been having fun. So they were talking about the LaCroix, the last question. None of them answered the question correctly. Erin Moffat doesn't even play in the staff round of trivia, but she felt so strongly that Barry was the wrong choice of LaCroix being my favorite LaCroix. She had to speak up.
Mm.
And so she ended up saying, that's crazy, that's wild, you know.
Mm.
And so I don't know what she's talking about. She's smoking the crack pipe or something.
Oh.
Obviously not smoking. Obviously not. That's a joke. That's a joke. But she was just going off. She went hard. So did John Sherman. They went way too hard on me. And so my favorite is Barry. And I know that's not popular. I know it's not people's favorite, but I like it. It makes me happy.
I love that. I disagree with that. I think that's my least favorite by far.
Least?
Least favorite.
What about Pure?
Now, what?
Pure.
Pure?
Yeah, Pure. Pure. Pure.
I don't even know what that is. Maybe I haven't.
It's just carbonated water, bro.
Oh no, that doesn't count. That's not a flavor. That's just carbonated water.
You're right.
Now
Anyways.
I haven't tried coconut, and I've heard that one's bad, so I haven't tried it. But as
do you like coconut though?
I do like coconut, but I've heard it tastes like. Someone told me it tastes like sunscreen.
Oh. Okay.
But I do like the taste of coconut, so I don't know. I just get nervous. I'm like, I'm not committing to $4 for 6 of these. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't got that kind of bread.
I think it's 8. I think it's an 8-pack.
Here we go. So my favorite.
Let's hear it.
It is new on the docket. Here's the thing. It's new on the docket. So my favorite probably leading up to this was the pamplemousse or whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Grapefruit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the grapefruit.
Pamplemousse.
That's probably
Yeah.
my favorite one leading up to this. But then the other day I was at the store, and I don't even really know how to pronounce this, but it's like a lemon. It says limon
Oh.
cello. I don't really even know what that is.
Oh.
So if you want to
Dang.
look, it's
Are you?
LIMONCELLO. Now, I love this flavor. It's new on the LaCroix radar. If you haven't tried it yet, you need to go check it out. You know what I'm
So,
talking about?
what's the flavor profile? So it's lemon,
So,
obviously, but
so
what's
it's
the other part of
lemon,
it?
but it's got like this, like almost floral, um, maybe like a creamsicle type of aftertaste with it.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't. Let me crack it open and give you a taste, so I can try and explain that a little better. Also, that sound, greatest sound of all time.
Wow. It's a good sound. Oh yeah. This is great. This
Yeah,
is
man.
great.
It's
This is
got.
great.
I love it if people aren't like watching the video.
I
They're like,
know.
"Why is
You're
it
gonna look like
silent?"
a psycho.
I'm literally. I'm drinking the liqueur right now, trying to give Jacob a flavor profile.
Yeah, he's slathering around his taste buds to then give us a good explanation of what the taste is gonna be like.
It's like a lemon with a little floral taste. Like I feel like I'm outside. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know how to describe the taste.
I like the
It tastes good. I
outside.
like it.
Like you just went
Like I'm in.
outside and went,
Like I'm in the garden.
like you
You know what I'm
breathe in.
talking about?
Oh, in the garden you just breathe
All the
deep.
all the fresh veggies and fruits. You know what I'm talking about?
I think it's a garden. So living
It's
in
like
garden.
it tastes good. You got to go try it. If you don't know where
Okay.
to get it, go to your local Ralph's, the one by the traffic circle. They always got it. Go try it out. Wear your
Okay.
gloves. Wear your mask. Be safe. Sanitize the
Right.
box when you get home. All that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's my new favorite flavor. I can chug it like it's yummy.
1942.
Yep,
What?
1942.
So also I was thinking an extra bonus. Say you're wearing a white tee like myself.
Yep.
You drink regular drinks. You're scared
Mhm.
to spill on yourself. You spill soda, you got a brown dookie stain. You spill
Come
coffee,
on.
you got a brown dookie stain. You
Come
spill
on.
Gatorade on yourself, you got a blue dookie stain. So
Or a red one.
look at it. Look at
Nobody
nothing.
cares. Literally, no one
Nobody
cares.
cares. It's just gotta dry off, and then I'm good to go, bro.
You
And
know
if
what
you
else
guys
is great
if
about
you
it?
guys are watching Spotify, I just spilled a
Mhm.
little bit on myself. You can't even tell the difference, just in case
That's what I'm
you're not
saying.
watching on YouTube.
That's what I'm saying.
What
It
are you gonna
also
say?
is something I can pour on somebody. If I want to be a jerk, I can't pour a soda. If someone's
Right.
being mean to me and I want to pour water on you
Sticky?
because you're being mean, you're going to get them
Right.
sticky. But you take
Right.
yourself a nice, perfectly flavored little essenced lemon garden
Yeah.
LaCroix, pour it on my
Yeah.
head. I don't care. It's kind of refreshing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not
Totally.
sticky. People get mad.
Refreshing. I'd get excited if somebody poured
I would
LaCroix
be
on
like,
me.
can you just pour it in my mouth? You know?
I'm gonna ask Tim Springer to pour it on me every time I walk into a church.
Also, Tim Springer loves
Oh,
LaCroix. So if Tim Springer loves LaCroix and you don't, you need to leave because I'm on Tim's side. But don't steal it out of the fridge. That's a bad move.
oh yeah, don't steal, dude. Story time, Mike. You got to tell the people.
So we all know I like LaCroix. So does Jacob. So does Tim Springer. Okay.
Right.
We bring him to the church all the time. But there was a LaCroix that was in the fridge for the longest amount of time. And I remember a while ago, before I saw this LaCroix, I brought like a 6-pack myself in and I just put it in the fridge. It was the flavor mango. And I remember seeing it in the fridge like a month later. I'm like, oh man, I must have not drank. It was just in the back of the fridge. So I grab it, obviously assuming it's mine. And then good old Tim Springer comes after a long, stressful day of meetings, all this kind of stuff. And he goes to the fridge and he goes, someone drank my LaCroix. And he was extremely sad about it.
Oh,
And then
oh,
Amy calls me out and goes, oh, it was Mike. And I'm just feeling like a jerk because Tim is the last
oh.
person I'd steal a LaCroix from. You know?
He's such a
Like if
sweet
it's
man.
Jacob or Jeff
Who
Levine, who
cares?
cares? I'm
Who
taking your
cares?
LaCroix. Fight me about it. You know what I mean? Show me that Krav
Yeah.
Maga. I don't care.
Yeah.
But Tim, I feel bad because he's the sweetest man on the planet. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
I
So
would feel terrible.
don't do it. And now it's a joke whenever I take something out of the fridge. Go, is it yours? Yes, it's mine. I brought this morning. But then, like, I'm still kind of sad and offended about it. So that's
Love
that.
that. I love that. And so now we're gonna move on to just our the prompting was our biggest fears that we conquered.
Yeah.
So Mike and I are handling this from two different perspectives, which I think is good and I think is cool. Um, so Mike has a little bit more of a faith base, and I'm just more of an adventure. So I'll go first,
Okay.
and then I'll have you go second, and we can kind of
Sure.
end it on that.
Sounds
So
good.
mine starts about like 4 years ago. I don't remember exactly the year, probably like 2016, I think. And Robin Fury's birthday is coming up in July.
Okay.
Okay, so this is probably early 2016, January or February. So she
Mhm.
wants to go on a hike. I'm like, okay, let's go on a hike. That's fine, whatever. So she's like, I want to go to Angel's Landing in Utah, California, in Utah, the great
Mhm.
state of Utah, where all the Mormons are at. And
Beautiful
so
state
I'm
though.
like, it was gorgeous, dude. So I'm like, okay, fine, we'll go on this hike. It's cool. So then I'm like, I'm not a hiking guy. I don't buy
Mm,
hiking boots. I'm
mhm.
not the most active gentleman, especially when it comes to like cardio. Like if you tell me to lift something, I could probably have a good chance I can lift it. But if you're telling me to like run a marathon, that's not
Nope.
going to happen. So I'm like, I got to look this up. I got to get mentally prepared for what I'm about to embark on. So then I started looking it up. Beautiful pictures. Like there's
Mhm.
this Angel's Landing, so it's literally like kind of this flat sheet of rock, and you get to look over the entire valley of Zion National Park. It's beautiful, red rock everywhere, very Utah
Yeah.
esque. It's great. There's rivers. It's awesome. So I started looking it up more, and I'm like, okay, it's a 5 mile walk, like 5 mile hike. So there and back, 2.5 miles up, 2.5 miles back. Not that
That
big of a deal.
yeah.
Like long, like it's not like
Yeah.
I walk 5 miles on an average day, but something I can like do. So
For
then
sure.
I see that like 1,600 feet of elevation, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty big. Like to just go straight, you're going 1,600 feet up. I'm like, that sounds like a
Mhm.
lot. Like I've never, once again, never really hiked except like random hills around the LA area, which isn't anything like anything in Utah. So I was like, whatever. And then I start to look up pictures, and there's pictures of chains. Okay. And so there's these narrow pathways where there's chains that you hold on to then make sure you don't fall off the freaking side of the face of the hills. Because this isn't like normal hills that I've walked on where like, okay, maybe you'll roll like 15, 20 feet. If you fall, maybe you can hook onto a tree. You'll probably more or less fine. This was straight freaking down. Like you're falling 1,000 feet straight down. There's no survival. You know what I mean? Game
You're
over,
dying.
game over. So I'm like, oh crap, this is nuts. So then I do the worst thing possible. I'm like, have people died on this hike?
Gotta
Sure
love the
enough,
Google searches.
yep, sure enough, 7 people have died on this hike. So I'm like, oh God, I'm nervous now. I'm not like scared of heights, but I'm not a fan of them either.
You're
Like
like,
I'm
I
not
think I'm sick that day, actually.
right, right. Like I could sit on the side of an airplane and like look down and I'm fine. But like being in off a cliff at the face of it
Mm,
and you're like could fall off. But either way, I don't want to do that. It doesn't make me
yeah.
happy. So then it leads up to it. It's July. I'm nervous, but I gotta pretend and show face like I'm an adult. I'm not gonna be
Mm,
scared of this hike. I'm not.
yeah.
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'm tough.
I'm tough. So we go up on the hike. It's absolutely beautiful the whole way. Then we hit this patch where it's like 21 switchbacks, where it's just like just straight up left and right. That was
Yeah.
super tiring. And then we get to the part where it starts to turn into chains, and you're seeing the side of the cliff, and you're like, oh crap! If I let go, like I'm done. And so it was absolutely terrifying. I was scared, but there was a point where the people who were on the hike with me were Sawyer Coffey, Josh Coffey, Robin,
Mhm.
crew, and myself. So there's 5 of us. Okay,
Okay.
and Robin and Sawyer at several different points say, "I can't go any further. We got to stop." And I'm like, well, "I'm not stopping. I'm in the middle of freaking holding on to these stupid chains. I'm not stopping at this point. I'm committed in my mind that we got to conquer this fear. I got to conquer this
Mm,
mission. Like
mm.
I don't give a crap. My hands are sweaty. We're not stopping." So then we keep pushing through. We make it all the way up. It's beautiful. It's glorious. It's amazing. Have a great time. We feed some squirrels. We had an amazing time just hiking this thing. But it was one of the most terrifying things in my life. And
I
if you
love
guys get
that.
the opportunity, I would say do it. But once again, it was a good fear. Not the most physically active dude, so it felt a sense of accomplishment was it was rad. And then yeah, and it was great. I walked when we were walking back. I was like, I'm definitely the biggest dude walking this trail today. You know, it was a bunch
For
of
sure.
skinny little like granola people. Like there was a
Mm,
woman with her no shoes on. There was like
CrossFit.
psychopaths. So I'm like, I feel accomplished. I feel
I
accomplished.
love
And then we
that.
had pizza that night, and it was great.
I love that. That
Yeah,
is sick, dude.
yeah,
I
yeah.
would. That'd be hype. I would love to do that. I would love
It
to
was
do
fun.
something like that.
It
I
was fun.
really enjoy stuff like that. I
Yeah.
normally don't get too scared, but you definitely have that feeling when you're standing next to something that is tall
Oh,
and you're about to feel like you're about to fall off, or if you are going to
yeah,
jump off something, like you have that feeling where it's just like
yeah. And your pit.
I'm actually gonna die.
Yeah,
Like if you've ever went
yeah,
like rock jumping into like a lake or something
yep,
like that,
yep,
like you just have to go for it. You can't
yeah.
sit there and think. You just got to jump because you know you're gonna be
Totally. Yep.
fine. And if you die, man, good way to go. You know what I'm talking about?
Take me home. Take me
Take
home.
me home. Come on,
Yeah,
take me
love that.
home. It could be a song like Country Road. You know what I mean? West
Mm-mm.
Virginia.
Take me home. Okay. Anyways.
Anyways, yeah, love that. So mine is like Jacob said, a little bit different. Because Jacob texted me this morning about what we were going to talk about, and he's like, "Think of your biggest fear," and I'm just like, I don't really have anything like Jacob's type of story. Maybe it's because I'm just a softie and I don't tackle my fears, but um, there is there is one thing that I thought about, and a lot of you guys know, especially my students, and if you go to our church, you've heard me share this on a Sunday morning. But for a lot of my life, from when I was about 11 to 20, 21, I on and off, and most of the time on, struggled with an addiction to pornography. It's something that started when I was growing up with playing baseball, being around just a bunch of dudes all the time. And yeah, I saw a lot of things that I was really young, and it just kind of opened up a door that I think a lot of kids through that age range begin to deal with around junior high and high school. Um, but it became a really really big problem for me where while I was doing it, it wasn't. It was like, oh, I don't actually like addiction to it. Never was something that crossed my mind until I got to the point where I was actually trying to stop, and it became really really difficult. And my biggest fear that I am sharing with you is that I actually shared that with someone. When you are wrestling with anything that is remotely addictive or anything that you are ashamed of at all, which is something that I think is one of the most shameful things that someone can wrestle with because it's like such a secret type of sin, that I was just scared to talk to anyone about it. And so my biggest fear was to share it with someone. And when I was in college, it was actually when I was at Masters my junior year. So I went to Masters when I was 20 years old. I was 20, and then I turned 21 that year. But it was the fall of that year when I first showed up to Masters that I had been battling this thing because it'd been about a year, or about a year and a half, that I was really fighting this thing like really hard from my sophomore year of college when I was at a school in Idaho to once I showed up at Masters for my junior year. And I just got to the point where I was like, I can't keep fighting this thing by myself. I just kept failing over and over again. I'd have success for a while, and then I'd fail again. And so I finally mustered up the strength to tell my friend. His name's Danny Lutz. He lives in Arizona now. But I remember sharing it with him, and it just was like the biggest weight lifted off of my chest in the world, and it was no longer as scary anymore.
Right.
And I think that's something that's so true about any sort of fear, is like when you have a fear and then you accomplish like doing the thing that you were scared of, you
Right.
realize it's not that scary actually.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that fear is a bad thing. Fear is what protects you, but fear can also stunt your growth, you know.
Right.
And it was definitely something that was stunting my growth for a while. And ever since then, I've just really tried to work really hard to talk about it a lot, for two different reasons. The first being it helps me. You know what I mean? Like it's something that I've battled with for a long time, and it's something that I haven't dealt with like I did in the past for ever since I talked to my buddy.
Yeah.
Um, but if I stopped talking about it and saying this is something that I wrestled with, um, not that I'm fearful that I would fall back into that type of life,
Sure.
um, but it just creates opportunities to be back in my own head and dealing with it by myself. And so I really am intentional about talking about it a lot with people, whether that is using it as examples in my messages with my students, or just talking to friends about it, just because it helps keep me accountable as well, and so
Yeah.
what I would say to a student, and not to try to over spiritualize everything that we're talking about, but fears are things that we can overcome. But it's difficult to overcome them by yourself. Like
Totally.
I feel like you would have never gone on that hike by yourself.
No,
You know what I
I
mean?
would have never chose. Yeah. Yeah.
And the same thing with mine. Like um, I would have never been able to have like victory over that thing, if it wasn't for me bringing people alongside me to help me walk that path. Um,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, my biggest fear is just like sharing my deepest, darkest secret. And it was
Yeah.
hard, man. It was a long part of my life where that was something that I struggled with, and it was shameful, and I would just beat myself up about it over and over and over again. But ever since I've been able to share it, I've just been shown grace by God, and Him, like bringing people into my life that have helped me get to where I'm at now. Where,
Yeah.
um, or yeah, it's not something that I really wrestle with. So yeah, that was my biggest fear. A little bit of a heavier note than
Yeah.
yours, but
Yeah.
it was real, man. You're scared. The enemy plays tricks on you, convinces you that you're the only person in the world that is wrestling with this thing,
Right.
and it's just not true. And so you
Yeah.
just have to share about your life and be transparent, and then people are actually able to love you in that. Otherwise, they're not. They don't know where you're really at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I definitely feel that, and I think what's cool, and you've already drew this kind of this line between the two, but just this opportunity when you're faced with being able, or you have the opportunity to face your fears, like
mhm,
you should take it. Like obviously it should be safe. Like if you're scared of spiders, you probably shouldn't pick up a black widow, right? Like that
yeah,
would be
yeah,
psychotic. But
yeah,
like if you're in an environment where there's a trainer and he has a tarantula and he's like it's going to be okay, and you have an
yeah,
opportunity to conquer that fear so it's not crippling, or you feel you're not gripped by it anymore, and
yeah.
you can feel like there's victory over that fear, like do it.
Mhm.
And so obviously something as silly as like picking up a spider also lends itself to spiritual things of like facing
Yeah,
your biggest fears of talking to somebody about your deepest darkest secret, or you know um I don't know, the limits are endless of what you could be afraid of or scared of doing. And
yeah,
so if you have an opportunity to face that, whether that's hiking up a mountain or telling somebody your deepest darkest sin, like go for it
mhm,
and take that time, and you'll feel the victory over it, and it'll be
mhm,
like you said, a giant weight off your shoulder, and you'll feel a sense of
mhm,
accomplishment and you did the right thing.
yeah.
So
I think too, the first time you take that big step to conquer a fear, it makes it easier to continually do it.
yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you have never done it, the first time is going to seem like
Right.
huge,
Right.
because it is. But as you continue to do it more and more, you're able to see the good that comes out of it later, and so the fear itself doesn't cripple you as much. So I would just say
Totally.
take that first step. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, um, and try it. Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't like to have that feeling of fear, but
Yeah.
it feels really good when you do something. You know what I
Totally.
mean?
When you
That
when
you've
you
been
do
scared
something
of,
about it. I agree. I agree.
for sure.
I love that. So this is it. This is the end of the podcast. We're wrapping it up. This is the swan song of episode 9. I had a
Come
great
on,
time today.
I did
Um,
too.
talking about LaCroix, talking
Let's
about
go.
Angel's Landing, and then talking
Mm,
about the thing that you shared, like just the fear that it was to share or be able to confide in somebody that was closest to you. And
for
so,
sure.
this has been a good learning experience and just fun being able to goof around as always. So as
Yeah,
you
yeah.
students are watching this, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to talk to us about your biggest fear, feel free to share at any point in time. We love you guys. We miss you guys. Peace.
Love you. Later. Peace.